tiburones. Me llamo Sandra Velasquez, and I am here seeking $300,000 for 5% equity in my company. Wow. I was born and raised in Southern California to Mexican immigrant parents, and growing up, nopales were everywhere. What's a nopal? A cactus. It is so versatile. You can eat it, make textiles from it, and it is so hydrating you can use it to cleanse your skin and hair. So I took the most Mexican plant ever, the nopal, and created Nopalera, Mexican botanicals for bath and body, using the nopal as our star ingredient. From our nourishing cactus soaps to our cactus flower exfoliants to our moisturizing botanical bars, I created Nopalera to celebrate and elevate Latino culture and change the perception of Latino goods while inspiring our community to stand in their worth. Sharks, que viva Nopalera! Who is ready to help me build the next Latina legacy brand? In front of each of you is...
All right, ding, ding. That is, let me see if I can pronounce some horrible pronouncing names. Nopalera? Nopalera. I did have a couple years of Spanish in high school. That is getting very far away. Yeah. As I was just talking with somebody yesterday who has a business that is... being celebrated in Mexico. Yeah, my kids know more Spanish at this point than I do. So I love the idea of using a cactus for other things, more things, especially because cactus, they don't require as much water to grow. At least I assume in this case that this is one of those cases. And I loved the prickly drink. I did a review here on the channel not too long ago. Maybe I'll link to their video. I also did an interview with them here on the channel. So I would, I think it's great that we look at things that require less water to create. At least I assume the cactuses don't require more water than like a traditional plant or animal based soaps, I would think. But anyway, we're gonna check out Sandra's I probably didn't pronounce that right. I always had a problem rolling the tongue. We're gonna check out her website at the end, so I apologize. We're gonna check out the website, social media at the end, as well as feature one of your comments from down below in the super community.
Our full suite of bath and body products. Enjoy.
What is this one?
That is the cactus flower exfoliant. That's a body scrub.
Takes off the outer layers of your skin.
Yes,
yeah, that can like take your scales off, Kevin.
Yeah.
Very nice.
This smells delicious. What is this?
Thank you. That is the noche clara. That is sage and eucalyptus.
Qué rico huele.
This is with what we call the moisturizing botanical bar. It is a solid body moisturizer.
The moisturizer is also a soap?
This is to replace a plastic bottle of lotion.
It's a lotion in a bar?
That's correct.
Oh, this
so
is
you just take it and you rub it on like that.
That's
and
right.
That's like if
that
you did
is
a pump
cool.
of
It's
your
almost
lotion.
like the only thing I know this similar is maybe a cocoa butter bar, right?
Exactly. It's also about the environment. So lotion is 70% water.
Sandra.
This,
no
water.
Love what you just said. I love you. That is like my pet peeve. All these young people that think they're helping the environment and they use shampoos and body washes and it's all water, but it's containing a plastic bottle. So you're just buying a bunch of plastic bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, ding, ding. That is, I've talked about this here on the channel before, but maybe, you didn't see that. I've been thinking more and more lately about single-use, like plastics and any kind of containers that we use and put food or products in. And, it bothers me because even if it isn't a single-use thing, we're basically single use because of the longevity of the planet's been around for X amount of years, billions of years, universe been around for billions of years. And even if you had something for 100 years, you pass it down and it lasts even 500 years, 6, 7, 8 generations. It's still basically, it's never going to get, it's still trash at some point, right? In the grand scheme of the earth and the universe and all that. So I don't know. I feel like we need to really put a focus on, like, actually being able to recycle things and being able to utilize things that we have more like with longer longevity and just make it extend, because it's like you have something, whether it's single use or even something you might use for 10 years, especially in the technology space. Like, you know, we need to be able to get these things recycled and operational again, and being able to be utilized in the time, like in the future, right? Not, you know, so it could be remade into something else that actually has some kind of worth, because otherwise it basically, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's all one use. Doesn't matter if it's this pen or this box of Vocalese or this camera. You know, it's only going to, you know, have a certain lifespan, and we gotta do a better job as a whole. So I love that, you know, putting, you know, creating things and put, like, kind of turning it on its head. So it's not like, oh, I got this lotion and it's made from all organic, blah, 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 and blah, 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 but it's still in a plastic bottle. So unless that bottle is formulated to be able to be reused like forever and always, and it's the only lotion bottle you ever need because you buy the refills in like a compostable bag or something, it's, you know, basically waiting to be trash.
What's your background?
I have been a musician my entire life. I thought that was my purpose on earth. I used to be the lead singer of a Latin alternative band called Pistolera. I sang in Spanish. And so it seems like a big jump to go from a lead singer of a band to running a beauty company. But really the mission is the same, right? I'm celebrating my culture. I'm making people feel seen, making them feel proud. Because I live in New York, very expensive city, I always had to have a day job. So I worked as a sales rep for CPG brands. But I found myself unemployed at the age of 43, a couple summers ago, with student loan debt, credit card debt, and a child to raise. I knew that the only way I was going to change my life was to create something bigger than I had ever actually been a part of before. The answer wasn't going to be working for yet another CPG brand that wasn't going to pay me enough. And so I started to build this brand. One of the things that I did was invest in myself by enrolling in formulation school. I said, why does this brand not already exist? Latinos are the largest minority group in this country, and yet we have been conditioned to aspire to Eurocentric brands with French and Italian names. So what's driving me is really, I want to show my community what is possible. I don't want to aspire to be like someone else. We want to aspire to be ourselves.
So it's not just for Latinas, though. It's for everybody.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you.
What are your sales?
Okay. So sales, I launched in the middle of the pandemic, November 2020. That was $19,000. Then 2021, which I consider my first full year of business, $607,000 in sales.
Wow.
There you
And then year to date so far, we are at $335,000. Projected to do $1 million this year.
How are these sales, where are they coming from? Like D2C?
So our business is pretty much 50-50 D2C, 50% wholesale. And of the wholesale, I did get into Nordstrom, Credo Beauty, Free People, and over 350 boutiques nationwide.
Good for you.
That is awesome. You know, being able to launch something even in, she said like November, and then hustling to get 19,000 in sales like in 2 months out of the gate. And I think that speaks to the branding and the messaging there, right? You know, she really brings, you know, really leans into the culture and the branding, and obviously she has a message that she wants to bring to market that apparently is underutilized. I think that's a really great a great observation, that like we have all these people and they're all promoting these, you know, Western European beauty brands, because that's it. That's as good, you know, that's as good as it gets, so, you know, in theory. But you know, having that alternative, leaning into a niche, and understanding the avatar in which you're selling to, I think is important. Now, you know, clearly this to me is ripe for having a spin-off company name or brand name that it also appeals to men, because Nopalera, I don't know if I said that right. You know, so I said this yesterday to the person I was talking to. Like, I could see a name and find 6 different ways to pronounce the name in most cases, at least 2 to 3, because it just depends on what your pronunciation or pronouncing the what letters you're enunciating, I should say, more so than others. But yeah, I absolutely love it. Do I think she's gonna get a $6 million valuation? I probably not, but it's probably gonna at best will be cut in half at best. So it's probably about $300,000 for 10%. At best, probably closer to 15 to 20%.
Because I do think, from launch to get to 600, 300, I think it's very respectable. But how do you impute a $6 million valuation in the business? That's very hard to justify.
I have meetings booked with the 2 top beauty retailers in the next 30 days. We are at that hockey stick moment of our business. Like, the tidal wave is coming. And we have so much interest, even from international places, that we can't really say yes to because we're not set up operationally.
Here's my thought about this. So I have 2 beautiful daughters that are half Latina. I love your mission.
Thank you.
I would have to ask for so much that it would compromise, at the end of the day, why you started it.
Thank you.
I would ask for too much. So with that, I'm out.
I so appreciate where you're coming from. Thank you so much.
That's great that he, Daymond decided to step out because of that. But I wonder what too much would be, like probably more than 33%. I would think, but I guess we didn't talk about how much it costs to make and how much she's selling it for. So that makes, unless they've already done that and they just kind of cut that part out of the final video. So because if there's not, it's beauty products, so it should be a high margin, right? There should be a pretty healthy margin in it, but I guess for in his case, he just wants too much.
There's money this year.
We should be profitable by the end of this year with the forecast that we have.
What do you think you'll make in profit then?
That's a great question. I would have to look at the forecast again, but
well, you should know that number.
Yes, I should.
What is it?
What the cash profit is?
Yeah, you're in the Shark Tank. You better know your numbers, or I put you
I know
to
a lot
hell.
of different numbers. Yes. Well, we're really strong in Q4. So when holiday season comes, also Hispanic Heritage Month is coming. This is where we're going to hit our revenue goals, is at the end of the year.
Listen, your mission is great. Your intention, your heart. But it's a great business for you, but it's not investable for me. I wish you good luck, but I'm out.
Yeah, that's a shame. You gotta know the numbers, and know it in a bunch of different ways, because it might get asked in a bunch of different ways, sliced in different, what's your last 6 months in sales, or what's your last 3 months in sales, what's your last 12 months in sales. You really need to know where you're at. You're going in asking for $300,000, like. Once you get past $200,000, no matter what percentage we're talking about, you got to have both your numbers together, and you got to have your your reasoning for the amount of money and all that. So I love that that Sandra feels that she's right at that hockey stick moment where it's like, sales are like, it's ramping up. It already is, at like, she's already in that curve, right, of the hockey stick. Because, going from $19,000 in sales in 2 months to $1 million in sales 18 months later, 1 million total in sales, like 18 months later, is absolutely incredible. Like that doesn't just happen by accident. And so that means people are resonating with her, the story, the brand, the product, and hopefully, because even if she gets into those stores, she's got to have the sell through, right? Because they're taking up very valuable space in their store, those brick and mortar stores. So she might have to pay to play in some regards, to pay for that space in the store. I always say everything pays rent, right? We pay for the square footage on a lease, or the mortgage, or taxes, whatever the cost of that space is per month, not include, without even talking about the electricity or water, utilities, heat, cooling, if it's freezing, in refrigerator space, freezer space. You have to take all of that, you break it down by square footage, and then you say, okay, is the stuff that's taking up that square footage paying in an ROI, return on investment? If it is, great. If it's not, well, then it's got to go, right? It's not paying its rent. It's time for it to get out and bring something else in that's going to pay the rent for that square footage that it's physically taking up.
What you've accomplished is amazing.
Thank you.
The valuation relative to what I can probably add is really high.
Okay.
So for those reasons, I'm out.
Mark, I so appreciate you. I just want to say I really respect what you're doing with Cost Plus Drugs.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Daniel?
Look,
Compañero, dime.
compañera, first of all, you're very impressive.
Thank
very
you.
good ambassador of our people. I
Thank
have
you.
a personal trauma with this category. When I graduated from law school, I started a company called Peaceworks, and my first foray was Dead Sea minerals and soaps, and I didn't understand what I was doing. And I took all of my savings from the prior summers, $15,000, and plugged it into inventory. And I lived in a small studio apartment, and I couldn't get rid of the inventory for many years. And there were all these aromatherapy minerals and salts that were so powerful, the smells, and so I couldn't get any dates because people would get close to that
But these are not
studio
strong
and they're like,
smelling.
whoa, what is going on? So nobody wanted to come over to my studio apartment. I just don't, I have the wrong instincts for these. I learned it the hard way, and for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, Daniel.
But
I still
so
appreciate
rooting
you
for
and everything that you're
that's a
doing
shame.
with Somos.
Okay,
and-
Sandra, there's
Yes.
nobody in except me, all right?
Oh, Kevin.
Now-
How did it come? How did it get to this
Well,
point?
you know, I actually am impressed with you, but you're not worth $6 million. You just aren't. And you don't have enough infrastructure yet to claim that. However, I'll give you the $300,000. I want 30%.
Wow, that is a lot.
I don't think you're worth much more than $1 million right now. You could use the contacts I have in retail and, QVC and
Sandra,
all
I
that
was
stuff.
going to make you a very sharky offer, but I decided
and
not
the
to
last
respect
thing I want you to know-
But if you're going to consider offers like that, then I'm going to make you an offer.
Woo, let's go.
If you're going to consider offers like that, then I'm going to make you an offer. From your numbers, the most I could go is $300,000 for 25%.
As you all know, this is a brand that is about self-worth, right?
Sandra,
My
you got two
ancestors.
offers.
Well, you do have 2 offers. That's
You got
pretty
2
impressive. You may
offers.
not like the valuation,
Yeah.
but
So what's your offer,
I
Kevin?
want to add one other thing for you to consider.
Yes.
14 years of Shark Tank. I've invested in so many different deals. 75% of my returns have come from the companies run by women. So I'm very biased to invest in strong women entrepreneurs. That's what I've learned.
That's the truth.
And it really works. My offer is $300,000 for 30%, and Daniel's a discount shark, so he wants to do it for 25%.
So definitely, I cannot go to 25%, Daniel. We are in the middle of a raise. I understand where you're coming from. I
What
am
is
a
your
young
counter
brand.
to either of us?
It's 10% for 600,000.
Wow.
This is.
I'm sorry. You said 10% for $600,000?
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's the 300,000
That
for
is the
5%.
same exact thing you came in with. You
That's
just doubled.
right.
That's
Maybe
right.
she
That's
feels
right.
That's
like
not-
that
that's
was
not a
the-
negotiation. That's-
Don't let them shame you into that you came
No,
in
but,
with the
but
wrong
Lori,
valuation.
Lori, let's
No,
be
it's
clear.
totally
I mean,
fair.
there's no wiggle room at all. I mean,
No, because
there's
Daymond, what's going on is
Sometimes
she
maybe
has
not.
the 2 largest beauty retailers coming in front of her, and she has a feeling of where she's
I'm not
heading.
questioning whether she has merit or not, but here's how the show goes. You come in,
You gotta negotiate a
there's a
little bit.
number, and you're willing to negotiate. What she just basically said is, no, there's no negotiation.
I appreciate all of you. Really, I really do. And I
Sandra.
really respect all of you. But my ancestors are whispering in my ear and they're saying, Mija, no te desprecies. Don't
You know
undervalue
what?
yourself.
Always listen to your God and to your ancestors. We wish you the best. We'll buy the product. I'm out.
Thank you so much.
That stinks. The Daniel wasn't willing to play ball, but that's was Daniel's instinct to begin with, right? His instinct was, don't I'm not going to make some offer that's ridiculous. And Daymond probably was, like I was saying, like 30, my guess was 33%. Kevin came in at 30%. Maybe Daymond really wanted like 40%. But look, if those meetings go really well and then you get the sell through, you got to create the product. So I mean, they didn't even talk about manufacturing. Like, how is she making it? And how is she going to be able to ramp up? Which is probably why she's going to need a lot more money, and need to go back to the well, which is why she doesn't want to give up more than 5% for $300,000. But with that said, I mean, it is a beauty brand, so it should be high profit margin. And honestly, to not know your numbers and still get 2 offers, ding ding. That says a lot about the product and what they think of Sandra. And yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Okay, I'm out.
Thank you.
She was already ready to grab and go.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Congratulations.
Let's check out her
Hell
website
yeah,
here in
good
a
for
second.
her.
I walked away from multiple Shark offers because I had a ceiling in mind and I just didn't want to budge. But just like the Nopal, which is resilient and ancient, has always been here and always will be, so will we. And the future is bright for Nopalera.
No wiggle room's crazy. That's a first.
You negotiate. The show is based on negotiation.
Yeah, but for her, it was all about self-worth, and she stuck to it.
Can I just, all right, let me go back here and go full screen here. So she's holding the product. I mean, she's literally like, I mean, talk about an empowering imagery there. Lori holding the product while talking about, protecting the fact that she was protecting her brand. So let's go check out the website and social media. So we got the Shark Tank bundle right here at the top. The first image is her on Shark Tank. So I love seeing faces, hands, people. That's one thing I feel is kind of missing here is we got Sandra here, and but we don't have other people utilizing the product. Was something I always like to see, like, because it's about the the experience and people self-identifying with what's going on in the imagery. So I wanted to point out that she's got a podcast, and if you want to get a podcast for your business, go over to indiepodcon.com. The ad's been running up here in the top left of your screen throughout the video and quite a few of the videos, because September 8th to the 9th, we're going to be here just outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, doing the 8th annual Independent Podcast Conference. Cannot wait. It's me. I'll be there, and it's my show, my conference, and we've been doing it since 2015. So much fun. So many incredible people. It's one room, one track. Really a community-focused event, and it's just awesome. We get so many podcasters from literally all over the world. We Hall of Fame podcasters in the house. So if you want to learn more about that, go to indiepodcon.com. And thank you, Sandra, for having a podcast for me to talk about, having a way to work that in. So anyway, yeah, I'd love to see more people on the site. Oh, this takes you to Captivate. That's the thing. Okay. So when you click on podcast, it actually takes you away from the site and doesn't open it in a separate window, which is kind of not great. But she also has a blog too. Not many sites that we get to visit have blogs. So it's great to see writing our own story and future dreaming, which it looks like, well, it's written by someone else, but I don't know if that's, let's see, have they written all the blog posts? Oh, they have different people writing the blog posts. Okay, cool. Very cool. So let's I just want to check out what the price is, because they didn't talk about any of this stuff. So it's $14 for one bar of soap, 14 reviews, 5-star rating, which is nice to see the 5-star rating. Let's see. Here's one negative. Product good, plastic shipping method not good. I was shocked that a company that has strong claims to environmental values would ship in a toxic single-use plastic envelope. Because of that, I will seek another company out. And only one person found it helpful. 5 other people found it not helpful. and we recently switched warehouses, and we'll address this with them. Well, that's good to know. Like they, sometimes the messaging doesn't always get, across to everybody what they're supposed to do, or they think that no one will notice, and it's just whatever. That's just our practice. But yeah, so $14 for one bar soap. So I'm gonna guess there's some pretty good margins there. Exfoliants is $32. But at least see there we have hands, which is I mean, I like to see people faces generally, but hands make sense where it makes sense, right? When you're applying something to the hand. So still people. Let's go over to Facebook. Got 5,400 likes, which is great to see. Let's see. Your jaws drop when you see our Shark Tank episode. My jaws definitely did drop. You get a like for that. There's some promotion for the podcast, some engagement here. Let's go over to Twitter. Got 560 followers. Posting pretty regularly. Quite a bit of engagement and what's the term? Views on the posts themselves, getting decent traction there. And on Instagram, 44,700 followers, which is great to see. And I'm willing to bet there's a ton of engagement. Yes, there is a ton of engagement here over on Instagram. Sandra, I would love to have you come on the show. Just drop a comment down below and we'll make that interview happen. Like this one from Chaos. Hey Joe, I recently fell in love with your channel and love your videos, but that was some bad math at 12:53. LOL. Have a great night. Looking forward to future content. Chaos, I appreciate you. Look, these are shot one take, all live, done with a pen and paper. So sometimes I get to do the math, sometimes I don't, because I'm not going to pause the video and I try not to edit the video. And that's all for authenticity's sake, right? It's me, it's live, it's off the top of my head, and it's what I'm able to, deduct and going through my head through the process. So sometimes I do bad math. It happens. It's not. I am not a mathematician in my head. Anyway, I appreciate you watching all the way to the end. I'll see you in one of these two videos here. Take care and go be super.